We like Marco.
No, I think Marco's spot on, and I think he's got a wonderful way of presenting the information.
I do too. It's actually really nice.
In a clear and concise fashion.
Way better than us.
Well, yeah, because we don't use whiteboards, because then we'd be copying.
My name is Marco, and I'm here to help you master your money and build your wealth. And today,
we're going to react to the video.
Okay.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about how you should never tell a car dealer that you are paying cash, especially during the sales process and especially during the negotiation process. If you've saved up money to buy a car with cash, congratulations, that is a good thing. However, most people think that this is a positive thing and it's a negotiating chip in their favor, when in fact it's probably hurting them, making them pay more for the cost of the car.
Is he right?
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, to a degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so far everything Marco said,
We're 30 seconds in. It checks out to Papa Shevska.
32 seconds in, and I'm on board with Marco.
So new car sales account for 58% of sales at a dealership. So when most people think of car dealerships, they think that they make a majority of their money on the sale or the price of the car, which couldn't be further from the truth. Although new car sales make up 58% of sales, it only accounts for 26% of gross profit. The reason for that is because pricing is transparent now. People have phones, they have apps, they have the internet. You can find out what the price of a car is in roughly 5 to 10 minutes if you just do some preliminary research. It's not that hard.
I don't know if I agree with getting the actual price of a car is actually really hard. I mean, we've been looking.
You mean the cost of the car?
The invoice? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it almost seems like a misnomer to suggest you can just Google search invoice price of Toyota RAV4 and it's going to pop right up. It doesn't. Everyone has estimates around what it is.
Yes.
That being said, I 100% agree with them. I mean, pricing is much more transparent. A lot of one-price dealerships, it's a lot easier to know what a dealer's.
Yes, and he's also absolutely correct that dealerships aren't making a lot of money.
Yeah.
On the sale of the new cars.
Definitely.
If 58% of their volume is in new car sales, but only 26% of their gross profit is off of that.
Which those numbers actually seem high to me. I was reading an NADA report. I mean, I think it's even less gross profit comes. But I mean, to your point.
Let's assume for a second that the numbers he chose to use are accurate. Well, more than half of your business is producing barely a quarter of your gross profit. That speaks volumes.
Yeah.
The money is not to be made selling the car itself. It's what happens after you sell the car.
Which I see he's got number 2 and number 3. Let's see what he says.
So car dealers need to make money elsewhere. So what do? They make a majority of their profits from F&I, accessories, service, fees, and parts. These are the major profit centers of a dealership. The car is simply a vehicle to get you into high-margin finance and insurance products. That's what F&I stands for. Those are the guys in the back that do your paperwork. So F&I is simply where they sell you gap insurance, wheel insurance, extended warranties, protection packages, etc., etc. And the funny thing is that 55% of these extended warranties, according to extensive research, shows that these extended warranties are never used. So you're paying for a product that you end up not utilizing. So if I was a casino and I had a 5% house edge right here at 55%, I would be salivating at those numbers.
That's spot on.
Yes, I mean we've been saying from almost day one in our videos,
Street,
that the big profit centers, parts, service, and finance and insurance, and on the vehicle side of things, it's finance and insurance, and the 55% of extended warranties that are not used. I don't know how many times do you pay for your automobile insurance, and that's not used.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hedge that you're paying now in case you have a problem.
And to be clear, the dealership doesn't benefit if you do or don't use your warranty.
No, it's the warranty company.
Exactly.
That benefits.
It's the issuer of the warranty.
Yes.
That benefits. So that 5% edge is for AUL Corp, the third-party warranty provider. It's not for John Doe Mercedes-Benz.
No.
The moment they sold it at a $1,500 markup, that's when they were happy.
And that's all their profit is.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
Whether it gets used or it doesn't get used.
Exactly.
Yes.
greeted by a salesman. Hey, I'm Marco with No Lube Chevrolet, where we service you with no lube. How can I help you today? I qualify you, I put you on
Kid show.
a car, you go on a test drive, you come back from the test drive. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Car Buyer, how'd you like that new car smell? You know, would you like some coffee or tea? We'll take you inside, look at some numbers. How does that sound? And we go through the sales process, and this is where the negotiation starts. Most people that are cash buyers shoot themselves in the foot at this step right here. Do not tell them you're paying cash. This is where you kill all of your negotiation power, and I'll explain why. So dealerships are incentivized. Remember, the new business model. Where does 74% of their revenue come from outside of the sale of the car? It's from F&I and other things, service packages, accessories, etc., etc. The way that dealerships make money is by literally becoming the bank. So they can either be their own lender, or they can shop out your profile and your credit score to all the different lenders in their network, and they can probably get you a pretty good score. However, this is where they make money, and this is where you have more room, and number one, to negotiate on price. You lead them to believe that you are financing with them, okay? Just pretend that you're not a cash buyer, you're putting down 10, 15%, I don't know, make up a number. So once you do that, the dealership knows that they're either going to make a flat, which is basically a commission. So when Mr. and Mrs. Car Buyer, end up taking a loan with dealership's Bank X is going to pay the dealership a flat fee or a commission. Or the other way that dealerships make money through financing is through loans, is through points or financial reserve. So basically all this is that you qualify for a buy rate. Say you're an 800 credit score, the loan is going to be 4%, right? That's the buy rate. The dealership will bake in numbers, they'll bake in 2 extra percent called the sell.
Are you over 25? Have a clean driving record?
I am.
No DUIs? You can drop your auto insurance rate.
Rate, and that's where they make the arbitrage. That's where they make the 2% spread. So for quick math, if you took out a $20,000 loan, financed at 60 months at 4%, and they get it to you at 6%, that 2% difference is worth $1,033 over the course of that loan in spread.
That might be true, except the dealership doesn't get 100% of that.
All right, explain that.
Okay, the reserve compensation is usually the dealership gets 70% and the bank gets 30%.
Interesting.
So, yes, there could be $1,063, and the dealership's going to make a little over $700 out of that $1,063.
That gets paid to the dealership, though, once the loan's signed off on, right? It's not over the lifetime of that loan.
Well, but let's say that most customers don't pay off their loan over the full course of time. They trade it in, they pay it off, they pay off a 60-month loan in 36 months. So the dealership can be charged back.
Interesting.
Okay, for uncollected future profit. So the bank gets to charge the dealership back.
Interesting. So they might get paid out immediately, but then they might get charged back.
Oh, they do. There's chargebacks every month.
Wow.
Finance people hate that.
So now you can see where the dealership would be more willing to negotiate on price is because they're making money here on the payments. Make sense? So now you're probably asking yourself, well, Marco, I don't want a loan. What does all this lead to? I thought the point of this was to buy the car with cash. Yes, so when you go into the back office and F&I, okay, where they sell you the gap insurance, the wheel insurance, all that good stuff, that's actually where you find the sheet and you basically break down every single one of the costs, okay? And we'll get into that right here. Okay, so this is where the rubber meets the road in the video. This is what you're going to do in the back office. So you are taking out a loan from either the dealer themselves, someone part of their network, or actually the manufacturer's financing arm. So like Lexus Financial, GM Financial, et cetera, et cetera. The reason you are doing this, as mentioned earlier in the video, is because you're going to beat them up on price. Once you finish the sales negotiation on the floor with the salesman, you're going to be in the back office and they're going to present to you your final numbers, okay? So typically what this looks like is you're going to see retail price. This car was $32,997. Well, you got us down to the sales price, which is now $30,000. They're going to break out your local taxes. In this case, I just assumed 10%. That's high, but just assume that for easy numbers. Then you have like doc fee, fee 1, government fee, fee 2, you know, some BS fees that they make up, which I'll explain to you in a second here what to do. You have GAP, which they're going to build into this, GAP insurance, and then accessories and service packages, things like that. I just ran out of room on the whiteboard. So you're going to come to a total number of whatever that is, you know, 5 figures minus your down payment, and that's going to be the amount financed. Now, this is where you actually want to still continue the negotiation process, and don't be afraid to walk away if they don't meet this, okay? This is going to save you money, so pay attention. So since you're taking out the loan, first and foremost, you need to understand if this loan has a early prepayment penalty. If it does, then what I'm explaining is not going to work. It's not worth the effort. If it doesn't, which most loans shouldn't have an early prepayment penalty, then you just save yourself a bunch of money, and you can send me a commission check in the mail if you want to. Just kidding, not really. All right, so what happens is once they break all this down, you're going to say, oh, doc fee, $500, no thanks, I'm crossing that out. Government BS fee, no thanks, I'm crossing that out. GAP.
What is he referring to with government BS fee? What do you think?
I have no idea. And if I may,
You are allowed to pause whenever you want, by the way.
okay, if I may, the argument I have here is that honestly, there's a mistake in the whole concept. And the mistake is, as you and I tell people, is negotiate the out-the-door price. Okay? And that's done with the salesperson and the sales manager. That is not done in the finance office. Because the finance guy only controls the paperwork and the financing. He does not control the pricing. So if you want to argue about fees that, and we've discussed this in other videos.
You wanna, I'll link to it.
Yeah, we'll link to it up here somewhere. Fees that are taxed are fees that can be negotiated. Fees that are not taxed are fees that can't be negotiated. And you can know that while you're still negotiating with the salesman or the salesperson or the sales manager. So that should all be done when you're working on the out-the-door price. Don't worry about the payments at that point. Don't worry about the interest rate at that point. Once you've agreed to an out-the-door price, then you can say, now let's establish what my payments will be.
Yeah, and I guess so the point is, like, accessories, you're not going to be able to negotiate that with the F&I manager.
No.
They're not involved in that. You know, really, they're not. So you need to...
The type of accessories that they're involved with
are the products.
Are the products
not
that they sell.
Yeah, not the, they added door guards or something like that. That was the sales manager who put that on the car.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. Negotiating the out-the-door price should happen on the sales floor or over email. Then when you get to the F&I office, I'm interested to see what Marco says here. But, I mean, he's pretty much spot on. The thing that I'll mention about government fees, however... is your point, taxable versus non-taxable. I mean, if you've got like local tax or local fees for registration and title and things, I mean,
they are what they are.
You can't negotiate that. Yeah.
GAP, I don't need it. I'm just saying for this example, if you want GAP, use it, whatever, I don't care. Accessories, I don't need it unless you want it. Then you have them redo the price. They're going to say, oh, this doc fee, that's state mandated. If I charge you X, I have to charge everyone else X. Otherwise, I'll lose my license, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? For all the big brain people in the comments that are going to leave a negative comment, this is just a negotiation chip, okay? You don't have to knock this out. All you do is you take this $500 and you take it off the price of the car. You say, okay, I'll pay the $500 fee if you charge me $29.5 for the car.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So you're just buying yourself more negotiation power.
But that
and
could
if
have
you say, no, I can't do
that. All could have been done with the salesperson and the sales manager. That doesn't have to happen in the finance office.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why you discuss the out-the-door price. Okay, I'm sorry.
that, you know what you say? Thanks, Mr. F&I, have a great day. And you walk away with a smile on your face and you drive off into the sunset. I'm just kidding. But anyway, you're buying yourself more negotiation power. So you're still going to end up paying for the sales price of the car. You're still going to pay the same tax that you would have paid. You may buy yourself some negotiation power with these BS fees. You're not going to pay this stuff. You have them redo the total. You put down whatever you said you're going to put down, and this is the point of the video. You get your payoff amount from the lender, let's call it 30 days later or 45 days later. You say, hey, what's my payoff amount? It should simply just be these numbers, sales price, tax, whatever the amount you financed minus your down payment, and you send them a check, cash. You just paid cash for the car while still...
This summer, lease for zero
Gotta hate
down,
when that
zero
happens.
first month's payment, and zero
Yes.
security deposit.
We don't even get paid
Experience
for having
the
these
rush
ads in our
G7,
videos.
the G-
No?
There is video.
Oh.
getting all the benefits of the sales price negotiation. Does this make sense? Okay, so now that I saved you a bunch of money, this is how I've been buying cars my entire...
Okay, I don't care how he's been buying cars his entire life.
Be
But-
careful. You don't want to come across as
No,
like
I
rude.
don't.
Yeah.
No, because that's irrelevant to
The conversation around
Yes,
paying
yes,
cash. Okay.
yes.
We like Marco. Just
No,
so-
I think Marco's spot on, and I think he's got a wonderful way of presenting the information.
I do
in a-
too. It's actually really nice.
in
Yeah.
a clear and concise fashion.
Way better than us.
Well, yeah, because we don't use
Whiteboards.
whiteboards, because then we'd be copying him. But my point is, you don't have to wait 30 or 45 days. By waiting 30 or 45 days, there's a daily interest charge on your car loan.
Yeah.
Okay, so it normally takes a bank about a week to book a loan once they've gotten it from the dealership.
Okay.
So wait a week to 10 days, call the bank. What's my payoff? Send them a check or do a wire transfer then.
Yeah.
And in essence, you've paid cash and you've financed whatever you financed, and you've paid a finance charge on whatever amount you financed for 7 or 10 days, as opposed to 30 to 45 days, and you've just saved yourself a few more dollars.
Yeah. That's a good point, though.
Yeah. So that's my only quibble with that. Otherwise, I think, just out the door pricing. If you want to pay the loan off after, do it a week to 10 days after you've bought the car, not 30 to 45 days. Other than that, Marco's 100% spot on.
And maybe we'll have to try and get in touch with Marco. I mean, we have the out-the-door price estimator back on our website, yourautoadvocate.com/out-the-door-price. Or if you go under tools, it's right there. And I mean, that's meant to help you understand what your taxes, estimated taxes are going to be on your purchase, your title and registration fees in your state, what that's going to be. So to help you kind of, you see an internet price online, and then what's that really going to be out the door? And then to his point, use the the doc fee. That's a negotiation piece.
Yes.
Work that off of the selling price. But no, I completely agree. I think this is it's a smart way to approach it, because if you do walk in and you say I'm paying cash, then you're going to end up paying more for that car because they're not going to make as much money. And
Yes.
now, as you've explained, the chargeback system to the dealership, you kind of got one over on them. So kudos to you. Good for you.
Well, it's not kudos to you or good for you. It's just you're trying to...
You're being strategic.
You're trying to maximize your savings.
Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, and that's what you should be trying to do when you're spending your money. So, Marco, good job. Proud of you, my friend. Like I said, only a couple little things that I would quibble with, but other than that, 100% spot on.